Hey guys, welcome to Mando Monday, and this is another video review of The Mandalorian. In particular, we're reviewing Episode 6, The Tragedy, and Episode 7, The Believer. These two episodes were fantastic, but we're gonna dive into them right now. Episode 6 starts off as Mando goes to the planet Tython. Tython is the planet where Ahsoka suggested he would take Grogu to have the Jedi receive the signal of Grogu. She said, put the kid in the rock and the Jedi will come. In the temple. Sorry. In this case, yes, it was a small temple where there was a rock in the middle and he just had to sit there and begin meditating. We see that Mando gets to see from afar a ship that arrives, and we all fans know that is Boba Fett's ship. Generally, Boba Fett just wants his armor back, and in order to get his armor, he said, we're gonna trade. I just want my armor, but I will help you deliver the child, or I will help you with the child. In the midst of this, Mando takes off his jetpack and his weapons to show some sort of, peaceful interaction with them, as well as Boba Fett requested that. But when this is happening, we see the Empire arrives because they had the tracker in Mando's ship.
It becomes this whole fight scene between Mando, Boba Fett, not between them, but them against the stormtroopers and the dark troopers.
The dark troopers, which, oh my gosh.
And I have to say also that you forgot to mention that we do see the comeback of Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand, yes.
Which I was very happy because I thought she was a very cool character in season 1, but then I felt like it was kind of flat because she just appeared and then all of a sudden she was just like, oh, she's gone. The three of them team up in order to protect Grogu, who is doing his meditation in the temple to see if he can get a Jedi. And I have to say that it was epic. It was epic. Especially Boba Fett had a spotlight in this episode that blew my mind.
So far, it's said that this is the best episode of The Mandalorian. Within reason, because it was the most tense episode that we've had so far, where, the child needs to be protected. Are they going to take away Grogu? Unfortunately, as this goes by, Grogu has been taken away by the Dark Troopers.
By Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. And we can feel it. We don't have to see, but we can feel how Mando is actually hurt. And he's digging through the scraps of his blown up ship because
for the Beskar
spear, and for momentums, because he actually held on to the little
finds a little ball,
little ball that was on the clutch.
I think you were surprised at the fact that they took Grogu. For me, it makes sense because I think at this point in the season, they have to give some leverage to The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian needed like a wake-up call in order for the show to progress and hopefully go into an epic season finale. I love, and this is something that I'll get more into the next episode, but I love how vulnerable The Mandalorian has become.
Yes.
Because of Grogu. I think it's a quality that it kind of reminds me of what happened with Kylo Ren. His arc, that it was such a good arc, because you see the Mandalorian in season 1, and in season 2 you see how he's changing, how he feels for Grogu, how he loves him as his child. He has a strong connection with him, and I think that his biggest fear happened in this episode, and it was that they took Grogu.
He's never been a father till this point.
Yeah,
he's never felt like a father till this point.
I love that Boba Fett and Fennec are teaming up with him.
She's kind of like a robot.
She's like a cyborg.
Because she apparently something in her body that was kind of destroyed, and Boba Fett actually helped her out. He just rebuilt that part of her body and made her like,
oh, Cyberpunk 2077.
One thing that before we continue, that people kind of like felt like, I don't know if that was really right. It was that when the fight started happening, people were questioning, why did Mando leave his jetpack behind? And I think his blaster, his Eradicator, the sniper, got destroyed as well in the ship. One, No more Eradicator. No more erasing people from thin air. That's a shame. And number two, I think the reason why, he forgot his jetpack is honestly, he has never been in the middle of a situation where he had to depend, where he had to save something else other than himself. I think in that moment, and I'm speaking from a little bit of experience, if you're going through something for the first time, let's say for example, he's trying everything to protect Grogu, like you lose your head as a parent, as it becomes a frequent thing. Not that your child is in danger, but with the next time that it might happen, you can think twice instead of whoa. I think that's what happened. I think he forgot his jetpack and he just started crazy shooting and trying to get to Grogu instead of, oh, I forgot I got the jetpack. I could just get to him and that's it.
It's what I said before. If you're questioning this at this point, I don't think you've been paying attention to how the Mandalorian is changing. He's not the same person that he was in season 1. He's still a bounty hunter, but he has kind of let his wall down, his guard down because of Grogu. When you have a wall up, you're like sturdy, you're like strong, but then when you meet somebody that you open up to them, you start trusting more, you start letting go more.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I think that's what's been happening to the Mandalorian.
Other than Boba Fett thought strategically. He saw them coming and he said, "Let me get my armor." Because that's where I could do the most damage.
But then again, Boba Fett doesn't have any connection with
Correct.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying. And he's the veteran. He's like more experienced than Mando.
But it's the same thing. If the theory that I've heard happens in this season, it was the one that you were saying that Mace Windu might come back.
Oh.
If Boba Fett has the opportunity to face Mace Windu, who was the person who killed his father, the same thing that happened to the Mandalorian with his jetpack will probably have it happen to Boba Fett, because that's a moment where he's gonna let his emotions overcome all of the the things that he knows, the way that he acts. So I think that the whole jetpack thing, it's the arc that we've been seeing with the Mandalorian.
I hope
since
he doesn't
season 1.
die, Boba Fett. Anyway.
That's what I heard.
So, this is it for episode 6. Now we're going to jump into episode 7, The Believer. Which, what I wanted to say earlier was that, in my opinion, for me, I think this is my favorite episode.
I loved this episode.
This is my favorite episode of season 2 so far.
The most epic thing happened in this episode. It's something that I've been wanting, and I still want. I want the Mandalorian to get to that point. And I'm just gonna say it because it was my highlight. We finally saw again the Mandalorian without his helmet, but this is the longest he has been, and he was seen by other people.
Yeah.
So we saw Pedro Pascal in this episode, and I was freaking losing my mind. And I have to tell you,
he did it for the child.
What I loved the most about that scene, I loved how vulnerable the Mandalorian was. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
He felt like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And it's not the Mandalorian that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the scene and I was just like, this is so fantastic.
Yeah.
He did that for Grogu, and I honestly it blew my mind. I think this might be my favorite episode.
Me too. The thing about this episode is that, as it states, the believer. It's more of it's two ways. It's Din and the character that Bill Burr plays, which is Mayfeld. Sorry, I'm bad with names.
Told you that.
She just told me, bro. I'm bad with names. So Mayfeld and Din had a moment of clarity in each moment of the episode, where Mayfeld, at the beginning of the episode, he is recruited once again, but this time by Cara Dune, to infiltrate a base of the Empire. He can retrieve, some coordinates to where Moff Gideon and Grogu are. Mm-hmm. And man, I just love freaking Bill Burr, his sassiness, his I don't give an F of what you're thinking. I'm just gonna say what I know and what I'm thinking.
Oh, you know what?
I'm sorry, guys.
Puppies.
Yes.
I loved the monologue that he gave Din when they were in the transport.
I was gonna jump into that. When he gets recruited, you see his sassiness, you see his jokes that nobody cares about, but we do as an audience. You get to see a side of him that we never saw in the past, where he does hate the Empire, but we never knew exactly why those feelings were there. And he starts giving a monologue where he was recruited by the Empire, and there was a moment where he used to be in a squadron that, you know, massacred a village, and he didn't like that. He didn't want to be part of that. And then started to question the Mandalorian on also his beliefs, on his religion.
The part of his monologue that I love was when he told him that we're all the same.
Yeah, we're all the same.
We all have certain beliefs, but then when something happens that we need to take some action, we sacrifice them.
We sacrifice them.
It's not that important in the moment. And I was just like...
Which is exactly what happened.
And I was just like in the whole moment like,
yeah.
Bro, take off your helmet.
He was saying that, look at what just happened. Your creed says you cannot take off your helmet, you cannot take off your armor. So which one is it? Is it that you can't take off your helmet while there's people around? Or is it that you can't take it off at all because ultimately right now you're dressed as a stormtrooper?
He was basically calling him a hypocrite.
Like, you're exactly...
I freaking loved it.
Exactly. So, but in the same way, he was trying to prove a point to him so that you don't have to be this because it's not necessary. You can still be the Mandalorian without your creed or without your religion and that belief, because you're doing this for the great cause, which is saving the kid from the hands of the Empire, which it could become even more destructive as he has the kid. And the same thing was with Bill Burr, like the character. When he got to the base, then there was a whole action sequence which was fantastic as well. When he got to the base, and he met his old Imperial officer where he served in this place where he massacred a lot of people. As they were sitting down, he was listening to the officer and he was saying like, but, you know, why did we have to kill all those people? Mayfield's consciousness actually started to act up. As where they were escaping, when they killed off everybody in that room, when they were escaping, as they successfully escaped in Boba Fett's ship, we see Mayfield ask for a sniper rifle, and he was about to destroy one of the mineral rhydonium that was highly explosive, and he shot down the facility with just one sniper shot. What I would want is for him to come back and, you know, be part of a crew. Like the Mandalorian, the Mando needs a crew. And in this last episode, they're going to have it. And I think my theory of the rebellion kicking in, it might fall down just because Cara Dune in this episode just went to recruit Mayfeld. But I don't know. It could still happen.
I was going to say that the most important thing out of the whole episode, apart from the fact that we saw Mando without his helmet, is that they got the coordinates to find Grogu.
Yes.
Which that was the mission.
This was an important episode. The beliefs of the Mandalorian and the beliefs of what you decide to take on and how you were raised. Because, I remember Mayfield said, if you're raised in this planet, that's what you believe. If you're raised in this planet, that's what you believe.
It also comes from a place where he was basically saying that we are all raised different, but
we're the same.
We're the same because it's like if you were raised in a conservative home and then you decide to travel or you decide to move from your home, you're not going to see the same things or the same beliefs that you were raised with.
Yeah.
And sometimes that'll trigger some things in you that will make you start doing things differently than when you were raised. So that's why I love the monologue, because it rings true.
Fantastic, because that's what he was trying to prove. Like, the Mandalorian had a code, Din has a code, and then he had to break it because he had never felt something like this before, which is fatherhood for somebody that's not even his blood.
Yeah.
But he started feeling for Grogu. So he had to break it to protect him. Ultimately, we love this episode.
I love both episodes. I think this one is my favorite. I'm an inch closer to getting the Mando as a Boba Fett type of bounty hunter where he'll take his helmet off.
Yes.
And I really want that because I feel that That Mandalorian was season 1. Season 2 is a transitioning one, and season 3 is confirmed. It's gonna start on Christmas Day 2021. So
And we got a lot of shows. You never know. We
Dis-
got a lot of shows
yeah,
that
Disney-
the Mando could make a surprise appearance
yeah,
in
because
those.
I think the majority of the shows that are premiering on Disney Plus are happening in the time of the timeline of the Mandalorian, because
Yes.
Ahsoka's gonna be one of those shows. I love this season. I can't wait to see the season finale. I honestly, I have a lot of thoughts. I think what might happen is that everybody's gonna back up Mando and go and save Grogu. What the final event will be, I have no idea. I feel like they're gonna leave it
for an hour.
I hope it's a long episode. That's one thing. If it's short, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Will we see the Jedi answering the call? I have no freaking idea. But I'm gonna let go of my theories, and I'm just gonna wait and enjoy this episode.
Enjoy it, yeah. Whatever happens.
And hopefully be surprised with whatever happens. That's gonna be all for our Mandalorian discussion on this Mando Monday. It's a very exciting time to be a Star Wars fan, you guys. It's Disney Plus has they have so many things. I'm so excited. Hope you guys have a great Monday. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay tuned. We have a lot that we are going to be discussing this week. We are also discussing The Prom and Selena, the series. So we're very excited this week to bring you guys a lot of fun content. If you guys want to follow us on social media, check in the description below. All of our social medias are going to be linked under the Legacy universe. So thank you for watching, and we will see you guys soon. May the Force be with you.
No.
Who shot first?